solve. Tell a friend, problem solve. A lot of the issues that make us angry, all we need to do is to ask critical questions. That's all. Number one, what is the problem that is before me? Number two, did I contribute to this? Number three, what can I do to solve it? Ladies and gentlemen, this earth that the Lord gave to us, he gave to us so that we can solve problems. And he has given us wisdom to deal with issues. I believe in the power of prayer as we have done, but I also believe in engaging the resources of your mind to work through problems. So how am I contributing to this? You see this building here, it came by a plan. You can pray 1,000 times and the block will not be placed on a block. It must take a mason who is acting out that soft part of the building which Archie, my brother, will have drawn and designed and give it to the mason, and the mason will translate that into brick upon brick, mortar in between the brick upon brick, mortar in between the brick upon brick. And as people applied wisdom and knowledge in problem solving, they were finding solutions to troubles in life. One of the things that we go through in life is that sometimes as soon as we see this like this challenge, then we enter into what we call divine, not divine, we call it diabolical intervention assumptions. This one, I see the devil is working there. But listen, gentlemen, if you don't treat your wife well, you will get a reaction. If you don't treat your husband well, you will get a reaction. No amount of prayer will contain your wife's behavior, because you need to problem solve. If you disrespect her, you get a reaction. If you don't manage your children well, you get a reaction. Listen, gentlemen, sometimes all you do is to pause and say, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Because you are not an angel. You got some things wrong. So go back to the drawing board and correct yourself. Sometimes we are too proud. We are too proud. Pride is the growth of your ego beyond control. When your ego, listen, anybody whose ego cannot be controlled, you are proud. Ego must be controlled. Ego must be managed. And the reason why you must manage ego is that you are not the only human being on earth. You are not the only human being. You are not the only person on earth. You are not the begotten Son of God. You are not the only person. So please be careful how be careful the way you share your Judaism. You are sharing your Judaism. Be careful. You are too much of yourself. There are some people that are called untouchables. They don't make mistakes. I've learned that on earth. There is a God and there are gods. Then there are the human gods. You don't touch them because they cannot make a mistake. And you see, when human beings get to the level where you cannot challenge and you cannot draw the attention to mistakes, we are in trouble. Somebody is standing and sitting here and listening to me. Go back to the drawing board, and the question you are asking yourself tonight is, where did I go wrong? I went wrong somewhere. I didn't do my homework well sometime. I made a mess of my home. My children have all run away from the house. As soon as you enter the house, they say, hey, the lion has entered. And why do you want them to be in the house? When the lion is crouching, nobody wants to walk the path of that lion. So when you took your home, peep him, you say, chop, lion, Anaba. Everybody goes into the room. You enter the home with a certain dead silence. There is no life at home. Ladies and gentlemen, manage your anger until your anger manages you. Nobody is at home. It is dead silent. Some of you went wrong. But tonight, as we run up on this program, may the Lord bring you back to the path. Lord, I got it wrong, but not at this time. Tell yourself, not at this time. Tell yourself, not at this time. Yes. One more time. 50 years of friendship, 50 years of inspiration, 50 years of mutual love, 50 years of collaborative engagement, 50 years of cooperation, 50 years of helping each other. And some people have just related 3 months and they are tired. Osafo, it's too high or you're difficult to. How many months? Oh, it's been 3 months. 3 months. In human psychology, we have learned something. Tomorrow I'll talk about it, but let me give you a gist. We have learned this, that people who are able to walk with others for a considerable period of time have over a long period generated a space where their emotions interact and they disengage. They interact and they disengage. And that interaction and disengagement over a period, they look like each other. The way they talk, the way they walk, that is why in very good relationship and marriages, at a point you will see that it's either the man has copied the woman or the woman has copied the man, and you're wondering, you look alike, because there is a space where they create each other. So they create, they disengage, they come there. When you start a conversation with somebody for a long time, you have entered that space. When you finish a conversation, you disengage. When you go back, so anytime you are nurturing that, we have found in human psychology that those who, number one, they look alike, and number two, that they influence each other so strongly that to the point that when one is hurt, the other feels it. That is why if you don't relate very well with somebody, when he's hurting, you don't feel it. You don't have intuition for it. But when you love and you relate, a certain line of intuition is created. The slightest thing. William Shishim said, you want to do everything. Sometimes, oh my goodness, I've seen some friends like that. They've lived about 60 years plus. 2 months in marriage, and you are just killing yourselves. 2 months, 3 years, and you are dying. Ladies and gentlemen, anybody who knows how to manage others and manage the space and the resources God has given you, and I'm talking about the special resources that God has given you and the people that come into your life, whoever knows how to manage people has said goodbye to loneliness. I'm telling you. Listen, people can live your life, but people will always come, because there is a generator for sociality. The way you smile, the way you talk, the way you laugh, the way you embrace, the way you look at somebody and ask how you're doing, and the way you just check on the person. And even when the person has done something wrong, you activate the law of tolerance. Tolerance is the ability, Papa, to say that I choose to lower down my sensitivity and embrace somebody's stupidity. That is tolerance. That is tolerance. You want to embrace. How many of us can embrace stupidity? Nobody can embrace it. A tolerant person is embracing a discomforting emotion. So when you say somebody is tolerant, don't take it. It's a very big thing. Somebody screaming and jumping and no, this will not work. This will not work. I'm telling you. We will not sit down. We won't sit down. Luther. I'm telling you, we will do everything possible and make this will not work as long as I'm alive. Then there are others by him say, ah, na who na suma just sometimes the biggest instrument against fools is the silence of wisdom. Everybody, ayana okasardo. And you be an yinano. I'm telling you. The man came to Jesus. We caught the woman red-handed. The Lord said, kill. Master, the Lord says kill. Then he said, if you find yourself as the most righteous, if you have never done this before, go ahead and cast the stone. When he got up the second time, the last time, he asked the woman, where are your accusers? He said, they are gone. Did they accuse you? He said, no. All right, I discharge you. Go. Silence is powerful. Too much talk breaks you down. Tell a friend, too much talk breaks you down. And finally, avoid the errors of presumption and listen to these attitudes that I want you to check. So look at your friend. When I mention it, you say check. Number one, avoid the sense of entitlement. No, I can't hear you. Avoid a sense of entitlement. Avoid the desire to control. Avoid external regulation. That means that you are all the time seeking to control others. Avoid believing that others are controlling you. I love this other one. There is something we call the danger of tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, the only thing I can use to explain that is when you enter a tunnel. We don't have a lot of tunnel. We don't have a tunnel in Ghana. But when you enter a tunnel, the only thing you see is that you have to go through before you see the perspective. You see that there is another side of it. But once you enter the tunnel, it is that small hole. A tunnel vision is a vision and a way of looking, a way of thinking. Is a thinking that is so narrow, is so small, that when somebody says that this and that, you say no. You are so soaked up in the way you think that you don't want other people to think the way they are thinking. You want them to think the way you think. A tunnel vision is a danger to invite others to participate in your views more than you are ready to also participate in their views. A tunnel vision is an idiosyncratic perspective where you think that you are all the time right and everyone is wrong. A tunnel vision is your inability to tolerate other alternatives. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not yesterday, today, and forever. There is only one Lord, and that is Jesus Christ. So when people have other alternatives, invite them and listen to them. One of the reasons why we can't manage our anger is that we are not ready to tolerate and listen to others. And anytime you don't have a listening ear to others, you have already created a barrier. I pray for you tonight. May you never create a barrier. Avoid that sin, that error, that attitude. Entitlement. This is for me. I am the one. I should get it. This should have come to me. Papa, why did you give this thing out? That is for me. Avoid it. So check. Let's check this one. Low tolerance for discomfort. Oh, low tolerance for discomfort. Your tolerance for discomfort is too low. So make sure it comes up. Low tolerance for ambiguity. All the time you want to be sure you understand. You want to be sure everything is distinct. You want to be sure everything is clear. But sometimes things may not be clear. That one too. Last but one. You are all the time focused on blame. And that is wrong, and that is wrong, and that is wrong, and that is wrong, and you did it wrong, and you should have done it this way. All the time blaming that one too. And finally, ego. 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 Ego eros. Do you know me? No, nobody will know you. And that is the raw truth. It's my first time of seeing some faces since I was born. So you see, nobody will know you. Who said you? Ego. Your ego is inflated. Inflated ego is a disaster. It is a career of explosion. Do you know where I come from? Every human being comes from one source. And what is the source? No, not above. From where? Here. So, do you know me? I say, no, I don't know you. Do you know where I come from? I say, here. There's no other place. Green, blue, red, indigo, whatever color. We all came from here. Do you know where I'm heading towards? Here. If you know who I am, please, an inflated ego is a disaster.